speedrunners will go to truly great lengths to shave off any minuscule amount of time, which includes using an older version of the game in order to bypass the patching of exploits. In Portal's case, speedrunners often use the version 3420 to allow the player to move in out-of-bounds space. Despite the version's obvious usefulness in the out-of-bounds category, it had its limitations. These limitations, however, were entirely overcome with the retrieval of version 4104, a version of the game only rumoured and lost to time. This version completely replaced the obsolete 3420 build and is now the main version that runners use to compete in the out-of-bounds category. If you think the discovery of Portal 1's 4104 was groundbreaking, as some purple guy might have you believe, then throw whatever preconceptions you had in the trash, light it on fire, and throw it into your rich neighbour's pool because you haven't seen anything as good as this before. With the release of Portal 2 in April of 2011, many players flocked to the sequel of their beloved puzzle game, but like any game release, a great number of bugs and exploits were reported by the community. One of the more well-known exploits being the floory portal. This trick abuses the intentional not a glitch. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. The trick abuses the intentional game mechanic in which players are given a 200 velocity push out of a portal if they happen to be within the hitbox of the other portal. What Valve didn't account for was whether the portal was placed on a wall or on the floor. This allowed for players to gain almost infinite height with enough precisely timed portal shots, which resulted in a mechanic so simple my dementia-ridden grandmother could achieve it with ease. The most useful case of this exploit was in the map Pit Flings, which had a large white floor perfect for the application of this exploit. With 3 precisely timed floory portals, it was possible to reach the ending platform without waiting for all the dialogue you'd have to sit through otherwise. However, Valve found the floor version of this exploit to be too powerful, and subsequently patched it out of the game within 2 weeks of the game's release. It makes sense why Valve would do this, because this exploit was extremely useful in the hands of speedrunners. The odd thing is that while they patched out the exploit that let players fly through the air, they forgot to patch out the exploit that let players fly through the air, along with the exploit that let players fly through the air. And don't forget the exploit that let players fly. Okay, I think you get the point. The patching of this exploit was a big blow to the speedrunning community, but thanks to the help of the runner New Gem, it was discovered that where floor-to-floor reportals were previously used, floor-to-wall reportals could mostly replace them, albeit with increased difficulty.
And welcome to another episode of Speed Portal. Now, as many of you who may know, they patched reportaling in Portal 2. But you know what? I said, fuck you. Ground-to-ground reportaling? I'll do ground-to-wall, back-to-ground reportaling. That goes that one. That's the second one. I'm going to shoot one up there. I'm going to reportal for the fucking 3rd time, but I miss it. Screw you. So I have to jump back down, use that, and then reportal off the wall again, and I'm going to land where you need to go. And I'm going to shoot a portal on the wall, and then one on over there, and I'm going to go through now. Fuck yeah.
If you thought a mechanic patched out by Valve was all this version had to offer, you're sorely mistaken. This is only just the tip of the iceberg of 4554. Due to the challenge mode feature being released in the peer-reviewed DLC on the 4th of October 2011, which had altered the map fadeout, the map fadeout is 0.1 shorter per map that has a dialogue fade, saving a whole 6 seconds over the course of a single player no-slash speedrun. But what about the cooperative categories, I hear you asking? Surely there is some application for this version, right? Luckily, there is, and it saves an astonishing 9 minutes. However, it's not what you might expect. To explain how this massive time save works, we need to look deeper into the update history of Portal 2. A few months after its release, Valve updated the game to include the peer-reviewed DLC. Along with the addition of the new challenge mode, an entirely new course in the cooperative campaign named Art Therapy was added. Because of this, Portal 2's speedrunning page splits the cooperative category into all main courses and all courses, where the first only completes the first 5 story courses, and the second completes story courses along with art therapy. This is where we employ a loophole in the game's rules for all courses. The rules do not account for the version 4554, so it's possible to argue that this is a valid version for completing all courses. Due to the non-existence of Course 6, this version would save an astounding 9 minutes in the run, time save only comparable to the previously covered Super Zip glitch. If you'd like to understand more about what the Super Zip glitch is, please check out our video covering it. 2 runners, Momentum Echo and Midcycle, took up the challenge of using 4554 in all courses. After months of hard work and practice, they managed to get a time of 25:58.51, cementing the world record of all courses. While it's incredible how far Portal 2 speedrunners have pushed the limits on the current version of the game, it seems we can go even farther with its backport. But how much farther will it go? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. Alright, someone get me a beer.